Good morning, this is Breakfast with Charlie State and Susanna Reid.
A High Court ruling this morning will decide whether dozens of travellers can be evicted from a site in Essex.
The authority... And Carol's got the weather.
And all of that in about 15 minutes.
Carol, thank you. Good morning. First, our main story today. A High Court ruling this morning may mean travellers at an illegal site in Essex could be evicted as early as this afternoon.
An attempt by Basildon Council to clear part of the Dale Farm site on Monday was stopped after residents won an injunction in the High Court.
Thank you very much.
David Cameron has warned that the world is close to staring down the barrel as it tries to recover from recession. Speaking to the Canadian Parliament, he said the problems in the Eurozone and America are so big they're now outside the court in Perugia. Daniel, good morning to you. What sort of signs are there that Amanda Knox's appeal may or may not go through? Meanwhile, our understanding of the universe has been based on the theory that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. It seems, however, we may have been wrong. Explain that to me,
I think
Charlie?
I saw the neutrinos playing live in Leicester about 16 years ago.
How fast were they? Was it over before it began?
3 backing singers, 1 lead singer, guy on bass.
So Paul
Sorry,
McCartney...
I'm being flippant about that. It's not science.
You'll get the scientists angry. So Paul McCartney embarked on a new stage in his career in New York last night with the world premiere of his first ballet.
The former Beatle wrote the music.
There we go, 11 minutes past 6. And Mike is here, morning.
Good morning. Nothing quite as earth-shattering as your neutrinos. You've just
or the satellite.
Yes, exactly.
Invested in stocks and shares ISAs in this country alone, so it's worth keeping an eye on that type of thing through the day.
Penny, thank you very much. See you later on.
17 minutes past 6. You're watching Breakfast from BBC News. Our main stories this morning, Basildon Council.
But it's time now to say hello to Carol with the weather. Hello.
Good morning. It is a chilly start for some of us this morning, especially in the south of the country. Temperatures last night dipped down to 5 or 6 degrees. Now compare that...
Very much.
Oh, love to go to university in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
What a fabulous city.
And when you hear the breakdown of the figures, there must be a lot of people who are considering it very seriously now.
Now, though, we're going to talk about zoos. And when you think of animals there, you probably think of lions, tigers, elephants.
But should tortoises be treated in the same way? A council in Cornwall thinks so, and it wants a tortoise sanctuary to apply for a zoo licence. The sanctuary owners say that's ridiculous, and it could force them to close down.
Charlie's not convinced of the charms of tortoises, are you?
No, I think they're perfectly lovely creatures. I just don't know how long I'd want to look at a tortoise for. You know, hours. I don't know.
I think they're just brilliant.
Of course, they're lovely. I'm not knocking the tortoise itself.
Did you see the one that was moving really quickly? I'd go and watch that for hours.
Should we have another look at it now? The fast-moving tortoise, or should we do something else?
That might take some time. And it's time now to get the news where you are. So we'll see you in a moment.
Led the case and he borrowed from Nazi Germany and then locked it away.
I mean, what sort of detail does it go into? I mean, Robert gave us a sense of the kind of stuff that's in there.
Yes, that is heavy, isn't it? Well, you've obviously had a look at it.
Yeah.
What
lies behind the lines and what they went through. And nobody knows an old man. Nobody knew who he was. And there, the one guy who mattered was an old guy who never told a story before.
And presumably for many of the families of members who were lost, this will tell the story of what they were involved in.
Yeah, they can buy a copy because what we're doing is sending replicas with the go-ahead of the association, in cooperation with the association. And I said,
Carol, morning, Carol.
Good morning. It's a chilly start for some of us. We've also got some mist and fog patches at about 18 or 19.
Carol, thank you very much. Just looking through some of the papers for you this morning. A lot of the stories, the Guardian's leading, of course. Sorry.
That's right.
You're the Guardian as well.
I'll put my Guardian away.
Don't want to double up. Guardian.
And the Times this morning says Brittany.
Yes, Penny's going to pick up now on all these issues, the shares tumbling.
Yeah, it's worth getting up to date with what happened yesterday, actually. Half an hour on an entirely different note when we look in detail at those changes to Facebook.
Like?
Important work.
Thanks very much,
Thanks, Penny.
Is the idea of learning a new language and a culture as you study for a degree an exciting one? Anyone planning to apply to university will know that from next year, institutions, of course, increase their tuition fees.
And that's making the idea of studying overseas, where costs can be much lower, more attractive. Chris Buckler has been looking at the cost of studying for a degree for us this week, and he joins us this morning from Amsterdam. Chris, what's the picture there if people are thinking, I fancy studying in Amsterdam? There, thank you very much. Lucy Tobin is author of A Guide to University Life. Thank you very much.
You're watching Breakfast, still to come this morning. Sir Paul McCartney tells us why he wasn't scared by the thought of writing a ballet.
A little later time now to get the news where you are. We'll see you in a moment.
You don't like it when people who are unmatched
Absolutely.
are thinking, because there's all sorts of sports which are potentially dangerous, which are incredibly physical, and probably run competitions against each other. I'm in the morning again, Carol.
Good morning. It's a chilly start in the south, but not really anywhere now, Charlie, of 23.
23.
23,
That'll
that's
do
73 in
nicely.
Fahrenheit. Very nice.
Very good. Thanks very much indeed, Carol.
Thanks, Carol. We're going to be talking about Sir Paul McCartney in a few minutes' time because he's got a new ballet. It debuted last night, the premiere last night.
Yes,
in New York.
Ocean's Kingdom, world premiere by the New York City Ballet. I am scouring the internet for reviews. They're 5 hours behind, aren't they, in New York? But sadly, I can't find anything online yet.
He's talked about the challenge and how, writing to ballet is a new skill for him.
And he also talks, because he tells Will Gompertz, and you can hear it this morning, about the fact that he can't actually read music. Didn't study music in the traditional way.
He's done all right, though.
Yeah, didn't do too badly, did he? Facebook has revealed a revamp. Some people, not that happy, Penny, but then some people are never happy with changes.
Some people are never happy with changes. You should see the status updates of some people when they've just had one small tweak. But anyway, there are big changes afoot. We like the new changes. You'll have to find out on email and tweets, won't we, to see what people think of them.
I just can't believe Mark Zuckerberg is still only 27.
Well, he was a lot younger than that when he had the idea.
You're
so how
so
annoying
right.
is that?
Quite.
Good morning. It's Friday, the 23rd of September.
Also ahead, more turmoil in the world economy.
Of that in about 15 minutes.
Thank you very much, Carol.
David Cameron has warned that the world is close to staring down the barrel as it tries to recover from recession. Speaking to Daniel Sanford is in Perugia for us. Morning to you, Daniel. What's
Coming down?
It's big, it's up there and it's coming down, but it's worth remembering that a lot of material falls to the Earth every day, both natural and artificial. Now, 6 tons, fairly big satellite, but on the other hand, you have to think about the fact that only is being struck by lightning, for example.
That seems to reduce the risk somewhat when you make the calculation that way. Just what is this satellite and how come it has to fall to Earth? And I mean, there's obvious answers, I'm sure, but it's
I'm in a completely uninhabited part of the world.
I always feel like I'm going to ask a really stupid question, but why is it coming back down to Earth? I mean, a lot of satellite stuff just stays in space, doesn't it? Why is this one coming back?
Well, depending on how high they are, most material will eventually come down to Earth. I mean, very much that's what keeps things in orbit.
Yeah.
And what actually happens is the friction with the upper atmosphere slows things down, and eventually then they come down to Earth. And it's a bit unpredictable, which is why it's not possible to say exactly where this will come down.
now.
This guide to what that changes if they're right.
Well, one of the premises of 20th century physics, and right up to the present day, has been that nothing can travel faster than light. Einstein's special theory of relativity is very clear on that, and the experimental evidence so far backs it up. So,
Roll and chocolate ice cream.
I know, and I'm thinking pink martinis as well. It would all go down very nicely, wouldn't it?
It's Friday.
Absolutely.
Especially when you've got 23 on your map.
I
on
know.
Sunday.
You could sit outside with it all.
Exactly. Oh, it's lovely.
Bliss.
What skincare product? Is that what you're thinking?
Something really smooth. Time now to get the news where you are. See you in a moment.
Desperate to bounce back. Of course, they lost to Ireland. What a match that was. Now they're playing the USA. So if they're going to go through, they need to win this today. They will win, I think, against the USA. That's at 9:30.
Good. Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. 8:37, Pink Martini. It's a 12-piece mini orchestra whose music you may have heard featured in The Sopranos, on West Wing, and also Desperate Housewives.
They were created by Thomas Lauderdale, who wanted a band to liven up some political fundraising events. They could sometimes do with a bit of livening up, couldn't they?
Yeah.
He joins us now, along with their singer, Storm Large. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, sorry, that was just getting...
going.
That was getting lively.
It's just getting going then, wasn't it?
What was that all about?
Oh, it's I had literally just gotten off a plane from New York.
But you still out of breath.
Pretty much, yeah.
You were sort of
I'd run to Washington.
What was that sound? Do it again. That's fantastic.
Isn't it? So hang on a moment. So tell us how this all got going, because as Charlie said in the introduction, It didn't start because you just
wanted to be in a band.
Yeah, exactly.
No. You know, I mean, after graduating from college, I went back to Portland with a thought that I was going to try to become mayor of that city.
It's an eclectic mix of musical styles, isn't it?
Definitely, definitely. It's a world palette.
And how does that work? Do you learn just the words, or do you get the language? I mean, do you have languages anyway?
I speak a bit of Spanish, and I studied very hard some French so I could have a little bit of stage banter, but as a singer,
your music is used in these huge American television shows. So you didn't just liven up political conventions; you've sort of lit up American shows as well. How did that come about?
Yeah, I think we play a lot in Los Angeles, and in fact, so we've played several times at the Hollywood Bowl with the orchestra, and I think that there are a lot of music supervisors.
Unicorn McGillicuddy. So I don't know.
Your surname is
Storm
Large,
yeah.
And your parents thought they'd call you
Storm. Yeah,
Storm
it's a boring story. It's just my father my father's a coach and a teacher, and he had a parent of one of his students. Her nickname was Stormy, and they just liked the name. So
it's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
And over here, Thomas, you want other musicians to get involved in what you're doing, because you like to play, don't you, with other musicians when you zip around the world.
Having heard some of the music, some of it is that lovely kind of, it takes you right into some kind of, I know you can't have smoky bars anymore.
No.
But some of it has that
Not
feel
over
to
here.
It just does have the Casablanca kind of feel. There's like, the whole world is coming to this one place to sort of forget their troubles, and that's kind of the atmosphere.
It is the SS War Diary for the Second World War. Covers everything. It's 650 pages long, from the first operation right through to the end.
Carry on while I just open it up. If I can lean over, I'll just open it up so we can have a kind of a look inside.
And as we've said, I mean, the secrets are in here. What sort of operations that you've thought, I can't believe we now know about that?
I think all those operations, there were a number of SAS guys going in first, who were involved, for example, in moving through Germany.
It's more insurance the book.
Thank you so much.
Remarkable documents. All next week.
Who wouldn't? That looks yummy. Did you make the Swiss roll first?
No, this is one of those desserts that's really quick to assemble, so you can make the Swiss roll if you like, but that was a short Swiss roll.
Oh, so you bought the Swiss roll?
Yeah.
And the rest of it was...
You've become a sort of celebrity chef, and the thing about celebrity chefs now is that people are as interested in you as a person as they are in what you're making. Whenever I'm walking through Covent Garden, there are always these kind of beautiful young... Yes, exactly.
Well, hoping to be
people
spotted.
Wandering around. This album, Homage to Maria Callas, out 7th November. The cinema season starts on Wednesday, and we say goodbye. Have a lovely day. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.